I just think in our case we glorify it.
Hmm. But I do know, like, people did like run away to Canada to dodge a draft.
Are you sure it was the draft or was it Trump?
Hmm.
Or was it both?
There are a lot of people who get like online were saying, oh, if Trump wins, I'd move to Canada, but
I think it actually did hit a point where they didn't accept U.S. Immigrants for a while. Oh, maybe there was.
really,
I'm not
that,
surprised if that's
that
the
strikes me as
case.
hilarious, kind of ridiculous.
I do find it be an overreaction, but if they have the money and want to live there, cool beans.
Enjoy your maple syrup.
Dude,
I'd be all for that maple syrup if
dude,
I
maple syrup is
didn't have to worry
delicious.
about it being syrup. I think a little bit before that time, I unironically was thinking how difficult it would be to Canada at some point in my life because it's colder environment and stuff, and I always like the cold.
Hmm.
In addition to that stuff,
Fair.
quite a few years ago though. I think I was still in high school at that point.
I'm cool living anywhere. Hence why I'm going to Thailand. I'm
I
cool with
wouldn't.
whatever.
I have. I am ill prepared for anywhere warmer than 70 degrees.
Yeah. I don't personal preference is like I prefer like I'm like you, I prefer cold, but
Also, it'd probably have to be somewhere that I'd actually be able to be in pseudo luxury, just because I'm not very able to do a lot of like farming stuff very easily
be right back.
because of physical disabilities.
Oh yeah, you with that alone. There's a lot that I can do with my ableism, which you obviously can't. So
I haven't drank soda in a while, but I found a rare specimen that was very odd for tonight. Mountain Dew Baja Laguna Lemonade. So mango lemonade and Mountain Dew. Can't wait for that absurdity. How are you doing, David?
I'm doing good. Um, life's honestly been pretty chill on my end.
Work's calmed down
Yeah.
and gotten into okay, got into a good rhythm.
Yes.
That's good to hear. A consistent rhythm helps a lot in many things. You, you, stuff, Friday group. New window.
So I heard Ethan's going to be another, I suppose, 10 to 15 minutes at this point.
well, let me look.
Yeah, that's what I
He
heard.
called me.
It might be a good break
Oh, he's here.
period to prepare
He's here.
for. Oh,
I want to see if the door's locked. All right. Ethan's here.
he has returned.
Excellent. Then I suppose time for me to cease with the Rimworld and get Path of Exile up.
He is here. And yeah,
Oh, my
This
path
particular
of
colony
build.
has definitely turned into one of my more villainous ones.
I kind of figured very shortly after we started going down the research, and it's like, all the evil options have opened up.
And they're just better numbers.
It's more just, yeah, I've had to delve a lot deeper into the extremes to keep the colony alive because I rolled really poorly with my starting colonists and such. Like, half of them just straight up can't fight. Mostly, there's a lot of rather crippling debuffs spread amongst them,
Ooh.
so...
Looks delicious.
So I've had to try a little bit harder.
It does a trick.
Which, in turn, led to me discovering the joys of necromancy.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
one of my primary defensive mechanisms in that particular colony is that, at several checkpoints I have, rooms just stuffed to the gills with desiccated corpses of various things. At one point it was mostly human corpses, but at this point mostly phased it out for stuff like elephants, rhinoceri, thrombos. Yeah, and, big critters and monsters.
I'm trying to remember what
which...
Sorry, continue. I'm trying to find the build that I did on Path of Exile because it wasn't saved when I opened up Path of Builds. I guess I forgot to save it.
Oh.
I think Ethan and David were doing Bliss the Totem.
Yep.
Did you do a build or were you weaning it?
I was doing a build.
Let's see, what is your character name? Tempe Lee.
What was the date that we last played?
About 2 or 3 weeks ago. Tempe Lee. So it's the temple is there. I'm trying to think of it. The lead. I think it might have been fire related, but I think every single of our characters has been fire related at
Mine's
this point,
not
so
fire.
I'm not
Mine's
sure.
not fire related.
Okay.
I do a little bit of fire, but that's just because where I'm at right now.
I suppose I need to look at my build. Because, yeah,
You're probably early enough if you wanted to swap to something else on your build also. David.
Sorry,
I'm going to
you're
be honest,
Like
the
mid,
Ballista build looks fun.
I'm sorry,
from what
David.
I've seen of your play.
You were mid explaining
It
something.
is. I
and
just
got...
didn't vibe with it. I was having struggling figuring out how to scale it at the point I was at.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, Corey, so... Right, the colony and how it has devolved into evil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Cannibalism?
yeah.
Numbing.
Actually no. Primarily because the colonists would throw a fit if I tried. Frankly, they throw enough fits as is. But yeah, one of my major defenses is blatant abuse of necromancy. One of the resources I acquired pretty early on is access to something called Death Dust, which, when spread around, you reanimate corpses temporarily.
Oh.
It's honestly a really good form of necromancy. They don't stay reanimated very long, but they are friendly to you and yours. They are more durable than you would expect, even though they are slower and less hard-hitting than they were in life. And upon reanimation, all their wounds are healed, though for whatever reason they don't actually regrow their flesh, so if they're skeletal, they're still skeletal. But they'll regrow lost limbs and all that. And so I just have a room stuffed full of dozens of skeletons throughout my base, and when the time is right, I have somebody just kick the landmines that are packed full of death dust and no actual explosives to reanimate a whole horde to go swarm my enemies. And at that point, I can either deploy gun to try to kill them dead, and I obviously don't care if I accidentally blow apart a couple of my own skeletons, because they'll
Yeah,
get better next
skeletons.
time.
Yeah.
Or just have my colonists go back to doing what they're doing, because
You got
having the
spoilers.
numbers advantage is a very large advantage in RimWorld,
Mm.
and the game normally expects the numbers advantage to be on the enemy's side.
So it sounds
It's-
like even though you're evil, I guess necromancy is considered evil in their minds.
Not
Yeah,
so
I-
much more of they're disgusted by the dead bodies themselves.
Yeah, villagers don't like seeing rotting corpses.
But it's more of just the theme of necromancy.
Nah, the evil comes in from the cultists I ended up recruiting, who leads a whole bunch of utterly ridiculous occult rituals, from summon flesh beasts, which, as the name implies, opens up a hole in the ground that spews up a whole bunch of misshapen monstrosities to maul your enemies and then you. Chronophagy, which steals years of life from the target, aging them while de-aging the caster. Philophagy, phagy, which steals like half of their experience from their highest level skill, giving it to the caster.
And all these.
And
cause
that's
brain
where the
damage,
evil- oh yeah, all-
cause-
the Phagy series cause brain damage and comas, but yeah, no, that's where the evil comes in.
Hmm. You recruited a bad dude, and that's where you're evil.
Evil.
Yes. That and exactly one instance of forcible organ harvesting, because it turns out that one of my characters was suffering catastrophic multiple organ failure. Yeah, and so one of my raiders was told that he's now an organ donor.
What's the classic website for builds? You guys have told me it's kind of like
There's so many of them.
there's the
I don't-
one. You guys are like all saying it's the website.
And if you look up like Path of Exile builds, it's going to be one of the first results. It pops up really fast. I don't actually know the name. It's always the one that comes up when I look.
Stormbrand Inquisitor, no.
But yeah, at this point they're basically a necromancy cult, and it's great. Oh gosh, that cultist has become horrifically overpowered though.
Firestone.
He has very few passions, which means it's really hard for him to actually level up skills. But it hardly matters because whenever someone attacks us who was good at the skill, he just decides, om nom nom, that skill's mine now. And he's got some really disgusting psycasts at this point. Self-teleportation, smoke clouds so that it's hard for you to shoot him while he's blinking about. And a spell that doesn't sound that ridiculous
Hey,
by the name, but really
hey
is.
Jason.
Vertigo Pulse.
Sorry, that's just really loud for me right now. I'm having a hard time focusing on.
Oh.
Thank you. You're saying, David?
Just rambling about how Mr. Cultist has become a very powerful combatant simply because over the course of the game he's gotten access to a couple very powerful psychic abilities, most notably self-teleportation, the ability to make smoke clouds to protect himself from incoming fire, and also I just have him wear a shield belt for an extra layer of protection there, and Vertigo Pulse, which doesn't sound like the sort of thing that should be super powerful on the surface until you read the details, because it's a medium range AoE that causes the target to suffer nausea and stumbling for like 5 or 6 seconds. during which time they stop doing anything else.
Oh, so it literally just CCs them hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then beckon. Where you point at someone and they stop doing anything but walking towards you. If they reach you, they'll start meleeing you. But if they were, say, holding a gun, that's a lot better than shooting you. Especially if they had something like a rocket launcher. So really, if the enemy brought rocket launchers, I'm far better off using the Flesh Beast attacks. Because, yeah, it takes 2 hours, in-game hours, to perform the Flesh Beast ritual. Which means it's only really usable against raiders who want to either set up a siege or who just, for whatever reason, are taking some time before they attack.
Hmm.
Summon so many Flesh Beasts that all but the biggest raids just get overwhelmed. And though then I do need to deal with the remaining Flesh Beasts myself. It's very easy to control the Flesh Beast AI and just funnel them into a choke point where they die like dogs.
Hmm. Here we go. I figured it. I was looking on Chrome, but turns out I had it on Microsoft Edge.
Ah,
So, what's your thoughts on the expansion? Is it worth the expansion price? You feel like you got your money's worth?
I'm certainly having fun. Yeah. I suspect that it's one of those expansions where beyond the first major playthrough, you're going to want a bit of support from mods to really make it good for multiple playthroughs. Just because
I did see they were trying to change it so it was more integrated to the rest of the game.
Oh, that's good, because right now it's all kind of locked behind poking an ominous monolith that if you don't poke it, not a whole lot happens, but once you do poke it, it kind of dominates the run. Good, I want to say, half of all events that happen are something related to Anomaly right now.
Oh yeah, that was definitely part of the thing they said. So that way you don't have to require every single one to be researched for some part of it, and there was less, more evenly balanced out how much anomaly events happen compared to other ones. Was part of it.
Does it make it so that like the mid-tier anomalies can show up without messing with the monolith? Because
RimWorld, let's see.
or rather, I guess
You can customize how anomaly focused you want your playthrough to be. You don't need to see every entity on every playthrough.
All right. So,
The anomaly scenario has researchers and a ghoul, so instead of 2, I guess it's just like less forcefully in your face about it, unless you've wanted to.
Because there's a lot of content there that would mesh pretty smoothly into an otherwise normal RimWorld experience. Chimera attacks are basically just a somewhat scaled up Manhunter event.
Oh, so I sent you an invite, David?
Oh, yep. With Shamblers... Oh, I do not see it in...
I was seeing things like when I looked a little bit like on the Reddit and stuff of people getting hundreds of Shamblers in raids and stuff.
Oh yeah, Shamblers show up in horrifically large numbers in the late game, but... They're Shamblers? Yeah, they're tanky, so dealing with that horde is going to take time. But even if it's the variant where they're actively trying to break into your base instead of passively wandering, I've had to deal with this exact scenario. It's not that hard.
I just found that one funny also, though.
Yeah, you just have something tanky, get their attention and stand at a choke point. And then you bring hell down upon them. Because once even if the destructive smash through your wall sword, once the Champlers catch the scent of something living, they're going to stop attacking the walls and just kind of crowd around that entrance. You're waiting their turn to try to kill the living thing they spotted. So you just let them try to rip something to pieces one at a time. And since this is deep anomaly at this point, you probably have a ghoul who can just be the meat shield without consequence.
Ooh.
Ghouls get a lot better in the game, especially if you dabble in a bit of biotech.
Yeah, I saw like
Alright,
the very
so
early parts of that.
I am going to like rein this in for a second. So, looks like Ethan, are you selected your character?
Yeah, so I'm in like
Okay, are
an
you?
instance of my own. I don't know how to get into the
Okay, we'll
party.
pause 1 second.
Corey, you're having
Yeah,
feedback.
so I'm gonna put on a headset. It seems like you want to do a headset. You want to use your headset this time? Okay.
You just will need to accept it, and then you can join our instance.
Where do
Also-
I find it?
Press S, and it should bring you up to your social menu, and then you'd click.
Ah,
I think it was.
Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Everything's fixed on sound. Hey, sweet goo.
Also, Corey, could you post in your build link? That way we can keep track of it.
But yeah,
Gesundheit.
Thank you.
87% damage reduction
Huh?
is a very tasty thing to have on a regenerating melee monster.
Actually, I'm gonna use the actual link. Copy. It's edit this.
There we go.
I just realized something. I have been missing a ton of opportunities to capture people who would make far better ghouls than the ones I have. Because it doesn't matter if they get brain damage. It doesn't matter if they're unwaveringly loyal. Because for brain damage, once they're ghoulified, that just gets healed like any other permanent injury. And loyalty doesn't matter because when they get ghoulified, they're forced to your side regardless. So when raids start, I can just peruse the incoming enemies, mark anyone who has the combination of traits I'm looking for somebody who would become a good ghoul, and just use a psychic shock lance.
Share my screen. Or, hold on.
Everything all right? Figure everything out, Ethan.
Leave. So. Nope. Bottom left. Oh, it has it in the middle too. Yeah, they have a button like right there.
That's the one that I would put. All right. Because David and Justin are the seniors here, so.
Ah.
After a sword.
So, what do you need help with, Ethan?
I don't know. What do I need help with?
So the question is, where are we on the map?
We're at this. We're at the main city. Currently. Ethan, your sockets are in your circlet there. You might have to pull those out. Right click the like little gem
I'm
on
just taking a look at the
Okay,
the difference in stats.
I see. You can hold, I think it is shift or control. There.
Ah.
Gives you a compare.
Yeah, I'll probably just stick with the current one.
I think we're at the prison, right?
Looks like it. We also need to kill a
Guess so.
Frabite, it looks like.
Feels weird actually having a mana bar. And having mana potions on my hotbar end.
Ethan, would you like it if you don't have to hover over something to see how many sockets it has?
Yeah, I'm good. Just
All right.
moving some loot into the stash.
Understand?
Alright, I'm going to be honest. All that doesn't unenchanted stuff, unless you're gonna want to just sell it.
So I actually, according to this, I have not defeated a Dweller of the Deep. We have to defeat a giant
Yeah,
crab in
we
the
still
submerged
need to
passage.
do that.
So I'm at the submerged passage.
Alright.
Right. Do you not have a weapon, Corey?
I think I silly goosed it last time I played.
Hold
What kind of weapon do you need?
You mean shenanigantered?
I
Good.
think you might need a wand or a scepter at this point. I assume
Okay.
a wand probably would be.
Anything
Because-
magic based is my guy.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Anything magic based is my guy.
Alright. In that case, give me 1 sec while I get you a replacement weapon.
Oh yes, the Necropolis. Do I have any super low level? The thing. Quick breath.
I was just going to quickly throw a Orb of Alchemy at
Oh yeah, that works.
a wand.
I just craft one real quick. Just RNG it.
Yeah, that's Orb of Alchemy. Okay,
Pretty
and so
much.
you should have the brains to be able to use this Bronze Scepter, and you do elemental damage, yes?
I do fire and ice damage, so yeah.
Alright, so this will be fine. What kind of sockets do you need for the weapon? Or,
Blue.
alright.
And don't be afraid to
Nope.
like.
The magic
If
weapon.
you're just wondering what something is, just don't be afraid to idly just mutter it out too.
Alright, and you are
Okay.
Templilat. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking around at the moment.
Alright. Not necessarily the best in the world, but I believe this one should do you good enough.
That will do it. Oh. I need one more level. 2 more levels.
You should be very close to it.
2 more levels.
Oh.
Fine. Let's just go. When everyone's ready.
We needed to wait for Ethan.
Yep. I said when
Whenever
everyone's
he's
here.
ready.
Okay, where are we going?
You just hit the swirly thing next to Fire
Aha.
Friday or Temple Fleet.
Yeah, this one does not
Right
have
there.
sockets fixed, but you know what? It'll at least be a weapon.
We are at the submerged passage.
I'll take it.
Shouldn't need to use that one for too long because leveling's fast right now. Okay, so we gotta find the flooded depths here.
Can we do this one?
We went through here, but there was a side area we didn't get to over here.
I can't remember exactly how moves work on the. I'll figure it out eventually.
I believe. I mean, you got the hint of Diablo 2.
Whoa! I died. It's been a while since I've played this.
Understandable.
And I haven't played it a whole lot.
Well, might as
I-
well just drop back on the party and keep going.
Yeah, I think he might have accidentally clicked respawn in town, so...
Yep.
Yeah, but he
I
can just
feel
click on our swirlies and get back to us.
We have to wait for his game to load though.
Taking a
the
while.
joys of loading screens.
Yeah, this... I will say this is one of those games
Yeah.
that's very rough on hard drive. Generally. Might have just been a little slow screen that time.
Beebo's back on the map.
Oh, you're doing lightning arrow. Yeah.
Well, I'm using my galvanic arrows as something of a stand-in. It just so I have something to do after I've deployed my turrets. Because right now I'm just using shrapnel ballista turrets because they're what I found.
Yeah, fair enough.
And the turrets just aren't doing that much yet.
They'll probably be a lot better for the boss fight.
Those we shall see.
If you hit tab, Ethan, you'll be able to.
That's the ledge.
There we go.
Okay, so you gotta keep looking. That's the wrong exit.
Alright.
By the way, there's an armor scrap up there that's for somebody else.
Also, if you feel like you need to run faster for a very short bit, Ethan, you can press 3 and you will use your potion of speed.
And you don't worry about it being used up. The potions just refill automatically as violence is committed.
There's an armor scrap for you, Ethan. Because if no one can grab it, that means no one hasn't been here.
Where are you, though, yeah, Corey?
The armor scrap is on the upper right.
Okay. I'm trying to find it so that way I can guide. It's up here.
So who's grabbing what?
You're grabbing this armor scrap.
Press Z or hold
Yeah,
left alt.
don't hesitate to take any loot you see.
Oh,
Because
I think that
anything
one was fine.
anything of actual value is going to be character bound.
Yep.
At least until you pick it up, then you can do whatever you want with it.
That is unfortunately the wrong exit. We have to go back and look for the other one.
Your princess is in another castle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed.
So it wasn't to the northwest either. So I guess time to check
Southeast?
the south. Yeah.
Are you alright, Corey? Oh, 1 second. My Discord did a weird thing. Hello?
Again.
I can't hear Corey. I thought it was
I was
just,
talking to Robin.
Okay. I saw your microphone symbol lighting
Found
up,
it.
but I couldn't hear you. So
Okay, so before we enter the map, I'm fiddling with the lantern. Oh,
I
nice.
know this
400%
stuff.
increased rarity. Let's. Let's switch that to
What little
that.
help I can offer.
Okay, so. Yeah, map has been instanced. Got some nice rolls, so we're going to. There's going to be some slightly spicy enemies in here, but they're going to be dropping
I see.
better versions of skill gems. And hopefully a lot of them. So, yeah, just
Farewell.
exit out of that lantern thing and go through the portal normally. Because if you.
It's underneath the button.
I'm gonna say goodnight to my daughter, then I'll be back.
There it is.
Also, your middle click is a ranged attack. Or
I am
range.
aware.
I don't
It
trust
is-
the click.
It is nice.
I wonder if I should have given him a Bone Shatter build. Like the one that I played last time we were playing together, David. Was that with you? No, it was something else.
I'm sorry, I do not recall.
The one where I ran at people with a big axe and smacked them really hard.
Ah. Little Beepa? You found
Yeah.
a rather nice large life flask. Since you're up in the thick of it, you may want that.
Ah, that is a wise decision.
Since I'm hiding behind you guys, I can afford to have lower tier life flasks for now.
And you said these don't like really run out. It's like they refill.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if you hover over it, you see how, like my medium life flask says, recover some amount of life over X seconds, consumes 8 of 28 charges. Every time an enemy
okay.
dies, a charge comes back.
As you can see on the bottom of its description,
Yeah.
it'll say refills
Hello.
as you kill monsters.
That's pretty cool.
So, drugs are important, kids. Winners do drugs. Winners do lots of drugs. Winners rig up their drugs so as to be automatically taken whenever enough kills have occurred. But that's expensive, so you don't do that till late game.
So you're talking about auto drugs?
Yes.
Yes.
uh,
Also, why are we on the Canadian realm?
I don't know, but it's pretty nice.
Hey,
Speaking of Canada, he heard us talking.
We're waiting.
we are waiting for you, Corey, when you are ready.
Mhm. Take care.
And
I don't need these. Ooh, actually, Ethan, I don't know. You might have better rings, but if you don't, some extra hit points might help. Oh, actually, you just have an open ring slot. Definitely take that coral
Oh.
ring I just dropped.
Huzzah!
Ooh, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! Health.
Yeah, that plus 28 is going to mean more than it looks like it does, just because you'll have, well, you probably have modifiers to like plus % life. Oh, we're under attack.
oh,
You went to the wrong one, Corey. Oh, there you go.
Hello.
wait, we're going to the. I see. That was the way back.
There's going to be some humanoid, spellcasters in here. Hopefully they aren't too deadly, but they'll have good shinies to make up for it.
Oh man, I died.
Yeah, be very wary as staying still is very deadly in this game.
Indeed
Yes.
it is.
Yeah, stillness and death are basically the same thing.
In more than the normal ways.
Motion is life. To live is to be in motion.
Man, those words are moving.
That means you're just moving.
Spicy!
It is in life itself. Those words. Very very
guy's
kinky.
promising.
Yeah, this guy just doesn't want to die.
Oh, it must have been one of those ones that.
Well, we all do fire damage.
So-
He's resistant to fire.
Oh no! You're right.
Oh god, I'm gonna die.
Sir, please die.
Running out of flasks.
Please stand in the wall of fire. We don't have to worry about friendly fire on the walls of fire this game. It's fine for me to use it. Oh boy, a gem I can't use.
My mom's gonna be here in like a minute.
Huh?
My mom's gonna be here in a minute to
Okay.
hang out.
Cool.
No, second one.
That requires level 21. No wonder.
Maybe we get with
The
the
too high level.
big number area.
Yeah, that's 10. That's 10 levels too high for me, and we're at a level 6 area.
What level are you,
My
David?
apologies. I'm only level 11.
Okay.
I suppose that all flame probably came from my other character then. Oops.
It's a very spicy all flame for us. Made me relive the time of pain and ruthless for a small second.
That's why everything's so hard.
At least we should be getting some nice XP for it.
Yeah, I'm seeing my XP move with pretty much every kill.
Oh, summon holy relic. Hello, filler gems. Oh, I don't have a slot for this. David, do you have an open slot?
Yeah.
It's useful for, as a filler, if nothing else but for it to just heal us. And it does some damage.
Other than the slot it takes up, there's no
Yeah.
actual drawback to using this.
Yeah, same with the golems. Really.
Yeah.
Except the golems after a point just die if you don't expect them.
It's a bit, yeah, that's probably the same with the relic, because the relic does have health. Yeah, not all that much in the grand scheme of things. Alright, we've got a spicy one.
Oh gosh. Yep.
Sir, please stay inside the firewall. Oh goodness. I think they're trying to shotgun me.
He depleted my numbers.
Rest in peace, Ethan. You did well.
Spicy.
Very, extremely so.
2 of them? This is getting out of
That
hand.
explains why there's so much rain of arrows spam. Because they're also shooting rain of arrows, and I saw you shooting rain of arrows.
Oh god.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Yes, very.
For dishonor! Distracted totems, actually.
Ah! My health! It disappeared.
Okay, at least I'm not the only one.
I'm going, yep, there I go. I just ran out of
man.
stuff.
Man, if only I could just, you know,
I
upright,
may-
down, down, down.
I may have to apologize. You, you thought I was just getting us shinies.
I have 5 HP. Oh no. At 30.
At least, at least we don't actually lose anything for dying yet.
Man, this is like insta-death.
Yeah.
Just add water.
It's very dangerous right now, and I'm playing a tinky build.
When you're having a hard time, oh man. When our tank's having a hard time.
Well, tanks have to stand in the middle, so.
Oh, wait, I forgot my totem. It gives me health regen when I stand next to it.
Hey! One corpse! You dropped a superior cold snap.
We live, technically, not really.
Oh man.
A twig spirit shield, that might be nice for Corey.
Take it.
There's a blink arrow for our archers. We'll need one of those.
I could use that over dash.
I gotta use restroom on my back.
Actually, that doesn't have the blink keyword. Okay.
Blink arrow also so it can be like full, like very long range too. So
Yep.
it's very good at its job. Gordon axe, Armin axe, gloves. It's unfortunate Blissa Arrow is one of the, or Explosive Arrow is one of the ones where you have to wait till like level 30 or something before you start actually using the main skill.
Game is such where you can get away with kind of messing around and just experimenting with whatever skills you find, so long as you're still working towards your build.
Yeah, that's what I'm fine with. I just meant like some of them like you don't get to experience what you're building towards.
All right, I'm back.
Much later for some of them.
Alright, welcome
Like,
back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm out.
Like, how for
identification
Blissa totem.
scrolls, so
Right. Might have to hold on to it and sell some other stuff until that point. I saw a lot of
I can get us loaded up with ID scrolls. They're not that expensive in the grand scheme of things.
That's true.
And just besides, it really sucks not being able to ID everything.
I get them like having a part of the currency, but I also wish there was some sort of like pseudo cane thing, at least for the early part of the campaign. And like just where it IDs for you for cheap, for like for low level items. Ooh.
someone walked through an armor scrap. This is gonna be hard. It's one of those frozen things. Where are we having issues?
I don't think this is going to be
Unfortunately-
buffed by the others.
Yeah, the frozen thing isn't going to have the level scaling. That's specifically those particular enemy types. Besides, this guy's actually our target.
Oh, look at that.
Look, we're actually doing damage to him. Also, don't forget to press Q, Ethan, because it makes you swing fast when you have your totem out.
Oh, I did press it. I must have just had a 7 duration.
A little bit. 12 seconds or so.
Okay. That'll probably explain it then.
No worries. It's understandable.
You
Oh
managed
wow,
to kill
this
a
is a
granddaddy
fight of
crab.
foods. I'm gonna have to
A
give
pity
it
you
to
couldn't
one of
lug it
y'all.
up out of the caves for us. Could have made quite the chowder out of it. No matter. We've got one less reason to fear the dark, and I've got one more thing to thank you for. Still alive? Still alive, are we?
I do doth declare, identify.
Shoot. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm gonna give this to you because I actually don't have. Actually, I'll give this to you because I don't have enough spots for.
Okay.
In your stash?
Yeah, in my inventory.
Ah.
Stay sharp
Ethan?
out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I have an ultimatum. You are not allowed to leave things unidentified anymore.
Oh, I see.
You need to swipe your hand over all of the things that are in there because you're required to check everything you're trading for, so that you don't get scammed. And now you can click accept.
Greetings.
Crazy.
You get a lot of scrolls of wisdom once you're doing mapping, and so I'd really rather just declare, you know what, I'm taking these resources from the high level character so that we never have to bother with this again.
I'm with that.
If you want to, you can't move stuff in your inventory while trade windows.
Oh. Well, I don't have enough space at the moment.
Well, that makes it.
Oh, do what I
Whoops.
did. Give him something. Give him something to make the space.
Yeah. Justin
Okay.
has been doing mapping, so I know that he doesn't have scroll woes. So he does not get an infusion of 6 stacks.
Wait, what's mapping?
No,
What's mapping?
the end game stuff.
You, once you complete the story, most of your adventures will consist of exploring the atlas using things called maps that generate, well, maps for you to explore and kill things and die a lot in.
Also, don't be afraid to sell all the like gray tier stuff too, because that is how you normally gain those identification scrolls.
Oh, admittedly, the way you normally get the identification scrolls is by melting down orbs of alteration, but
Well, that too.
in the very early game, it's just a tight economy and it's not fun. So screw that.
Yes. Also, don't forget to claim the quest reward that we completed.
Oh yeah. It's always good to have skill ranks. and that is why you leave no quest behind.
All right, to the cage brutes.
All right.
Also, Ethan, if you are wondering how to move stuff quickly, you can use control. No, fill up the first slot if it's able to. When you click an item.
I have so much stuff I should probably sell. So I think I may do that.
And don't forget, you have at least 4 tabs. You have some more space if you need it.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
That being said, at this stage of the game, if you're not using something, well, if you're not using something and it's not currency, so if you're not using a piece of equipment, you probably just want to sell it. It's not worth clogging your inventory like this. Yeah. So you would just talk to Nessa. Yeah.
Or one of the vendors up here.
Yeah, but Nessa's closer to the stash.
Yeah.
You sell stuff and then just you control click on everything in there.
Witness inventory space.
I call you inventory space.
Oh yeah, I forgot you can just control click them. Also.
So Justin, you sure you don't want your holy relic back?
Yeah.
The-
I felt like it would be good because you're the only one currently doing attacks outside of Ethan. I didn't want to complicate it for him too much more. I thought you would be doing a lot of rapid attacks, but
I mean, yeah, my totems are. I'm using those galvanic arrows for now. I just don't really like that the build is prescribing that I use a melee attack in the early game.
yeah,
So
I
nah,
get that.
I'd rather just get jury rig up these shrapnel ballistas. Limp a little in the early game.
I think it's just because there's so many more options for melee weapons to be decent instead of the very few bows that would work out
Maybe, but
in the scaling.
even in the very early game, you're still only picking up defensive nodes and a little bit of bow damage. Oh, and elemental equilibrium. I wonder if that's why.
Yeah, elemental equilibrium might be a big part of it because no, it's before equilibrium. Never mind. I was thinking of something else.
No, so long as I can manage to get some plus elemental damage to attacks, which is not that hard to get.
I think you can even crafting bench it.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I have an iron ring of 1 to 2 cold damage already. That should keep the cycle spinning so that any elemental hits have a payout.
I think as
No.
long as you hit anything but fire with elemental equilibrium at this point, we're gonna all be doing a lot of damage.
True.
Because you would be applying the explosion for all of us.
This is true, but you would not be removing. Oh, that's actually a little dirty. I like it.
Let's see. You.
Well, anyways, I suspect Corey's going to go mad if we don't actually get back on the road, and honestly, I'm getting pretty fidgety too. So.
I agree.
mean,
I am.
That's
trying
why.
to-
That's maybe why I have a backpack hero going on right now.
There I am waiting.
That's cool.
So Ethan, do you know what point to put into? Put the in the point. Yeah, to there.
Oh,
That works.
I guess I just.
You
had
chose
to walk.
correctly.
Okay.
And some fancy shoes and a fancy sword.
Fancy shoes.
I believe he's using one-handers, though.
Those are fancy.
Yep.
Fancier than yours. Elemental resistances are very nice. You want them. As the game goes on, you will only ever want them more. You will end up desperate for more elemental resistance.
512, I think that one was. Number. It's quite a fast two-handed sword if you're able to use it.
So we're just waiting for Ethan now. Hey, you there, Ethan? How you doing?
Yes.
How you doing?
I don't remember getting these. Oh yeah, this was from the Twitch Prime thing from 2017.
Okay, I'm gonna just dump my loot and then I'm ready to go.
Alright.
Alright, let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
You see the little twirly on the next to our icons, Ethan?
Nah, that was
The
too
little blue
wow.
icon next to it? You can just click that.
Yeah, so next to our faces, there's a little blue swirly. There you go.
Yeah, just teleport to friends.
Nice little quality of life right there.
That is so much easier.
I just see fireballs flying through the corridors, and I'm enjoying it.
We got an elite.
Seal Reeves. Ah, yes, the Ascendancy trials.
court of the goddess, every man and woman is deemed worthy of redemption. Though you might be shackled by the tribulations of the past, the trials ahead offer you both freedom and
Don't recommend
glory.
standing there.
The future is yours.
Watch out for the spikes coming out of the floor. They are dangerous. Oh, the lever has been hit already. Now we gotta go back.
Whatever, my guy would just eat it.
Bit of impalement between friends.
Okay, I do use that. And once you're over here, you hit the plaque up right here.
Yeah, and then the Emperor will say some pithy quote, and that's how you know you're good to leave.
And there is a portal on this to get out of the trap area rapidly. Up.
Darn it.
Trapped by a door. I think I didn't see that. Everyone was
Yes?
stuck behind the door. Oh, what was that? Ah, one of these guys.
While we live, we are blessed. Hello. Take care.
Make sure to back off after you kill stuff, because the strongbox. No,
Spooky.
yeah, it had corpse explosion.
Enemy corpse explosions. Oh no.
I don't need to go too loot crazy, right?
You don't know. You grab stuff that you think you'll use. You feel free to leave behind that which you don't. Other than rares at this stage of the game, you want to grab, identify, and sell pretty much every rare. It'll help you build up your basic currencies.
Rare is blue?
Yellows.
Yellows, okay.
Yeah, you can do the same for blues, but you don't get nearly as much currency for it. Yeah, so I really would only recommend taking small blue stuff like jewelry or belts.
Okay. Okay, you guys were on the map, and then we're not on the map.
I'll head back where we entered the next zone. We are over here, sir.
I'm just killing.
Alright, well, in that case, yeah, Justin, let's go back to the upper prison, and then since Corey just reached the waypoint, he can get teleport to friend.
I think he, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. He can just do that. You can do the fast teleport.
The teleporter friend is not working.
Oh.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
it's working. I kept it instantly hitting cancel. Not okay.
Muscle memory. All my buttons are in the wrong places.
I know, right? I immediately put the traversal, like the movement skill onto W.
Forgetting to mark my enemies for death. Okay, so I want to put that there, that there, that there. Okay, that.
Oh, Ethan might be busy. Everything alright, Ethan?
Yeah, just looking at something. Hold on.
Okay. Nice find, whoever got that.
Oh. Anyone here do physical damage?
Currently, yes. I see. Huh.
Pretty much you don't do physical damage if you equip those. You only do ice damage.
I think we might want to give this to someone, to whoever's in melee, actually. Is 100% cold, 100 cold damage reflection? Alright, 100 cold thorns. It's a lot of thorns.
I died. I died good.
Alright. Well then, once we clear out this fight, B-Bud, I'm going to have a shiny to toss your way. B-Bud, gloves. Wear them. You'll make the enemy die for daring to hit you. Note that the thorns only applies to melee attacks, and don't just stand in arrows.
Let the fire burn through the power of our many sources of fire. Don't forget you can use your W to dash, and I think it goes over ledges and caps, Ethan.
Oh. Cool.
Was this the way after all? No.
This whole wing's just a dead end.
If we you can dash up here, Ethan.
Getting comfortable with using mobility skills as your primary way to get about will make you a much faster and more nimble character.
That is probably a good idea. Yeah.
I believe I see the way forward. I also see a strong box on the mini map.
Must have time to gather.
Strong box.
Oh my.
Nice. Alright. Time for everybody to make sure they have at least basic quality flasks. There's a lot of flasks on the floor here.
I see that.
You guys find yourself ever using these resistant flasks?
In the late game, no, because you try very hard to just have your resistances maxed out. At this stage of the game, they'd save your life if you popped them in time.
That is one of the ones you get. You know what? I'm gonna screen share this chat. Actually, I don't think that'll actually be helpful because how Discord doesn't show up. Never mind. That would be obvious.
Does the left side mean he's weak to fire?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought, just I wanted to ask.
Sawbones. It's not a bone saw.
I mean, he is a necromancer, so he probably does do a fair bit of modification to his
Fair enough.
acquisitions.
Okay, I only have a 1 second. Close. went past the next area earlier.
Sorry, seeing the strong box made me go into Loot Goblin mode. They're boxes full of treasure that just tried to kill you. How could I resist?
I'll say when we get to the next area, so the next town, or y'all do a town run, let's go through reading in Eucharist.
Your answer's here, heretic. In Rayclast. But I don't think you'll like it.
You got hit by it and just pulled it really fast away from my screen. It was funny. Like, and now he's gone. Yes.
Luxurious hideouts. Looks very luxurious.
Only the most luxury.
All right, let's do some reading in Eucharist.
So it seems. You all good, Nathan?
Yeah, just give me one moment.
All right, I'll be back when you guys are ready. Ah. That boy has all the energy.
Yonans.
Oh yeah. Your dog has all the energy. Huh. He's probably at young adult group. I mean, he'll be here tonight. He just won't be. He's just not here right now. I don't know. It's dependent on when he gets here and when your mom gets here. So.
We'll be here eventually.
He'll be here when he be's here. All right. Plug it in. You plug it in. See a spot right here. Jason. See a spot right here. Oh, never mind. All right. Ethan, you ready to read?
Indeed, I am.
Right. You just want to use the headset microphone? Can we use that?
It might sound better with the other one.
All right. Can you mute yourself?
No.
I'll just super mute you. Oh yeah, that works perfectly. You have to unmute yourself on that microphone too. Let's make this really easy. There we go. All right. You're not going through the headset. Flip the switch. This way. It's a pretty new thing too. Like the last 6 months. He refers himself as JJ. All right, get close, Jason. Get closer. There you go. See, there you go. It reaches. All right. Oh man. Feels. If you don't feel like reading, you'll feel like reading. We're back into the movement of things. Ethan, you don't mind praying us in the scripture before we read? Amen. Yeah, we're having a hard time. All right. Let's make sure everyone's. David, you there?
I am here.
Cool. Justin?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Whenever you're ready, Ethan.
Okay. Matthew 21, verses 33 through 46. Listen to another parable, Jesus went on. Once upon a time, there was a householder who planted a vineyard, built a wall for it, dug out a winepress in it, and built a tower. Then he let it out to tenant farmers and went away. When the harvest time arrived, he sent his slaves to the farmers to collect his produce. The farmers seized his slaves, beat one, killed another, and stoned another. Again, he sent other slaves, more than before, and they treated them in the same way. Finally, he sent his son to them. "You'll respect my son," he said. But the farmers saw the son. "This fellow's the heir. "Come on, let's kill him. We can take over the property." So they seized him, threw him out of the vineyard, and killed him. Now then, vineyard owner returns. What will he do to those farmers? He'll kill them brutally, wretches. And he'll lease the vineyard to other farmers who will give him produce at the right time. Did you ever read what the Bible says? Said Jesus. The stone the builders threw away is now atop the corner. It's from the Lord, all this they say. Looked on. So let me tell you this. God's kingdom is going to be taken away from you and given to a nation that will produce the goods. Anyone who falls on this stone is smashed to pieces, and anyone it falls on will be crushed. When the chief priests and the Pharisees heard these parables, they knew he was talking about them. They tried to arrest him. They were afraid of the crowds. Prophet.
A lot going on here. What do you guys think is happening?
Well, I've done some studying on this. I'll let you guys.
Well, here is Jesus just going. He just got done clearing the temple, and he just got to being asked. So, if you guys are wondering why I'm talking, Jason just asked what's going on, and so the people in power just asked Jesus, like, why is he doing what he's doing? Like, what power does he have? And so Jesus pretty much said, like, well, you guys, I'll answer your question. First, tell me who John the Baptist is. And they're like, we don't know if he's from God or man. And so now he lists another parable. So this is a good question. What is going on? What do you guys think?
Yeah, as the text says, yeah, this was a a warning to to the Pharisees that should they continue ignoring God and and attacking his messengers, including his son, which they haven't caught on to that bit yet. Then they will be treated accordingly.
I've already centered the address. Can you repeat that again, David? I'm sorry, I was very distracted.
Well, at least on the surface, this is essentially a final warning that that the Pharisees and the high priests who are being spoken to have rejected God's messengers time and again, and have often responded quite harshly to those messengers. And if they don't knock it off, well, God's patience does have a limit.
And the passage before, was there also a vineyard?
Yes, there was.
Yes, a day's work in the vineyard. So yeah, right before you have one brother who said he won't work, but he does. And one person who said he will work, but doesn't in the vineyard. And so now we have another vineyard parable in which, David, you're saying that Jesus is talking about the leaders, in which the leaders have, and correct me if I have misunderstood you, repeatedly, time and time again, have done bad, in which they're going to lose their power.
Yeah, essentially, yes. Not just have done bad, but when messengers have been sent to tell them that they are doing bad and to turn away from it, have attacked those messengers.
What do you guys think when Jesus said to them, "The stone the builders threw away is now atop the corner. It's from the Lord, all this," they say, and we looked on in wonder. What do you think, Ethan?
About the parable?
Yeah, and also, like, specifically this piece, when Jesus said to them, "The stone the boulders threw away is now atop the corner. It's from the Lord, all this," they say, and we looked on in wonder.
Yeah, so parable basically just retelling like the history. It's like every single time that God sent a prophet, they would just beat him up, just ostracize him, just completely ignore him, and just go on. Eventually, it gets to the point where vineyard owner so the vineyard owner eventually sends his son. He's talking about Jesus. And he's basically just prophesying that they're going to end up killing him. Just basically calling it right then and there. They eventually do that. So it is a warning that they've got some judgment coming on them when it comes time for vineyard owner to return. Stone that the builders threw away, referring to Jesus, basically how he's been cast out by his own people. He's going to eventually be put center stage in place of authority. And they're just gonna be looking on and wonder the whole thing.
So, question. So here it talks about how the stone, right? Like, we could say the stone is Jesus. Falls on the stone, be smashed to pieces. But from what we know, only Jesus is the one who dies shortly hereafter. So it looks like the leaders don't get smashed, even though it says they will have their just desserts. What do you how do you rectify that?
So, does anyone who falls on this stone will be smashed to pieces, and anyone who it falls on will be crushed? The way that I'm seeing it is that these people who are in positions of authority are falling on it in the sense of trying to destroy it, but this stone is not able to be destroyed. And so eventually these people who are trying to break it, they are going to be broken. And so it says anyone it falls on will be crushed. So when Jesus does come back to like lay down the law, it's not going to end well for the people who don't want to accept it. So it's like, I think in a way this is showing both his first coming and his second coming. That sentence, how like in the first coming, people are falling on top of him, where he's in a like lowly position. And then the second part, which is like kind of talking about the second coming, it's like he's in a higher position, and he'll fall on top of those same people.
That's the first I ever heard of that way of interpreting. It's the first and second coming. I've seen it as more of as a direct, like when the temple was destroyed around 70 AD. Like around 70 AD is when the temple was destroyed. And so I've seen a lot of references to that. But the first and second, correlation, this is like the first I've heard of that. All right. Any other thoughts before we go into commentary?
I think I need some water. My only thought.
Yes. So right now Ethan's getting water. And we're about to go into commentary. Are you you guys there?
Yeah.
I have not left.
Okay. All right, Ethan's like I said, getting water. So we'll hop right in the commentary very soon. There's just a lot of movement going on right now in the house.
So it seems.
Yeah,
You having a house party?
I guess so.
The double-edged sword of going into a smaller residence.
Yep.
Suddenly, when you have a lot of guests, it's a little too full.
Yeah. We'll figure it out. Probably headsets after this week will be. We knew it was going to be anyone else. Was not. A lot of the extra movement happened right when we started reading, and so I wasn't prepared to have headsets on, be able to hyper focus. But right now, yeah. All right, are you ready to read the commentary, Ethan? Do it. All right, and Dave and Justin, they communicated they're ready. I will actually start. Who would like to continue after me?
Does anybody else want to be the second?
Let's say Justin.
All right, I'll be second.
Let's say Justin. You're always usually
All right.
second. Justin second. Dave is after Justin. Anything extra will be Ethan. Yeah, right now we're playing through Path of Exile. But yeah, every day he's sharing information. But yeah, definitely would love to connect. Even without time or not time, and like everyone has to eat, so always good to share food. But yeah, we're about to read. So every Friday we play games, and then we read the Bible, and then we read a commentary, which is like a scholarly thought on what we just read. And so yeah, that's where we're about to get to. You're more than welcome to join us. I know you just hopped into a whole world, and so so I understand being dazed and confused seeing this right now. I'm guessing you came here with Brittany? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Ethan will connect, but it was nice meeting you, man. All right. Well, David, whenever you're ready, go ahead and start.
You said you were going first.
Oh,
though,
I'm
Corey?
going first. Yep. And then Justin's going second. You're right. Thank you, Justin, for catching that. I'm going to pray so I can center myself. Christ, you're amazing. Thank you for the scriptures and how they speak through generations. Thank you, King Jesus, that you came through the people, the Israelites. You didn't come in a vacuum. You came with people who are struggling with an empire of the Romans, and also the temple leaders, what we're here seeing, and how they denied you. So as we read the commentary, for myself especially, reveal how you work, how you operate. Because I know I need you. I look at myself, and on my own, I'm a wretch. So as we read the commentary, please reveal on how your ancient literature work. In one false name, amen. All right, I'm gonna start reading. I had a dream last night, and the frustrating thing is that I can't remember what it was about. I know that when I woke up, it seemed very important. Indeed, so important that I wanted to write it down, but I didn't have the time. By the time I was fully awake, it had gone, and I can't recall it. And yet I have known all day that it was significant, and that if only I could get in touch with it, it might tell me something I need to know about myself or about the world. Once upon a time, there was an ancient king who posed a similar problem to his counselors. He wanted to know what his dream meant. But he wouldn't tell them what it was. They, not being trained in modern psychology, objected strongly. Nobody has ever asked such a thing. They said, whoever heard of such a request? If the king will only tell us his dream, Then of course he'll explain what it means, but the king refused. Whether because he couldn't remember it, or because he was testing them, isn't quite clear. All seemed hopeless until one wise man, getting his friends to pray for him, was granted special knowledge.
This was the king's dream. The story is told in Daniel chapter 2, one of the many spectacular stories in that remarkable book. He saw a huge statue. Its head was made of gold, chest and arms of silver, its middle and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, its feet of a mixture of iron and clay. Then there came a stone which struck the statue on its feet of iron and clay and smashed them. And the whole statue came crashing down and was broken into 1,000,000 pieces. But the stone itself became a great mountain, filled the whole earth. Once you know a bit about dreams and ancient theories as to what they meant, especially if it was a king dreaming them, it wouldn't be too difficult to give an interpretation. And Daniel's interpretation of the king's dream lived on in memory of the Jews from that day, time of Jesus and beyond. It was all about the kingdoms of the world, the kingdom of God. The kingdoms of the world were the successive kingdoms of gold, silver, and iron. The king who was having the dream, conveniently enough, ruled over the golden age. Each would be less glorious than the one before. People in those days didn't usually believe that the world was getting better, but that it was getting worse. Finally, there would be a brittle kingdom, like iron mixed with clay. Then there would come something different altogether, a stone. Give it a capital letter for reasons that will soon appear. Smash the feet. In other words, it would destroy the last kingdom. The whole tottering structure of the empires of the world come down with a crash. The stone itself would grow to become a mountain, a new sort of kingdom, putting the whole world in a new sort of way. No Jew of Jesus' day would have any difficulty figuring out what it all meant for them. Kingdoms of the world, starting with Babylon and Persia, had gone on until at last it was Rome's turn. And now, surely was the moment for the stone to reappear. The stone, they thought, meant God's Messiah, would set up the kingdom of God by destroying the world's kingdoms and starting something anew. What has all this to do with the parable of the wicked farmers killing the other son? Just this. Jesus, interpreting his own story, quotes from two biblical passages, Psalm 118 and Daniel 2. The stone which the builders rejected has become the top cornerstone. It won't fit anywhere else in the building, but will go in the place of greatest honor. The stone will crush anything that it collides with. He is the stone, the Messiah, God's anointed. He has come to bring into the being the kingdom of God, through which kingdoms of the world will shiver, shake, and fall to the ground.
And why is that an interpretation of the parable? Because the stone and the son are the same. The son the farmers rejected is vindicated when the owner comes and destroys them, and gives the vineyard to someone else. The stone the builders rejected is vindicated when it goes in place at the top of the corner. And, just as in English the letters of the word son are the same as the letters in the word stone, with two more added, so in Hebrew, by coincidence, the letters in the word bin, son, are the same as those in the word eben, stone, with one more added. The whole story is therefore Jesus' way of explaining what is going on then and there, which is Jesus' perspective on the very events he was involved in. Rejected by those he has come to, but destined to be vindicated by God. The vineyard owner is, of course, God. The vineyard is Israel. The farmers are Israel's officials, and the slaves are the earlier prophets, ending with John the Baptist. The son can only be Christ himself. It is a story full of depth, sorrow, and power. It tells how he has now come to Jerusalem to confront the tenant farmers with God's demand for repentance, for Israel to be at last what it was called to be, the light of God's world. And it is the story of how Israel, through its official representatives, is going to refuse the demand and will end up by killing him.
Why then the stone? Because the last kingdom, the kingdom of iron mixed with clay, is perhaps not Rome after all. Maybe, from Jesus' point of view, it is the uneasy alliance of Herod and the chief priests. Maybe it is their shaky kingdom come crashing down and the stone eventually falls on them. Before it can become the chief stone in the building, it's affected. That now will not be coming.
Interesting, he said, like, as a play on words between sun and stone. Do you guys see that play on words?
I do. I really hesitate to put much weight in that. That degree of wordplay can be found almost anywhere if you look hard enough.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a lot more clear in the Hebrew. Interesting. So for Ben is sun, and the word Eben is stone, with one more added. For us, we have to add a lot, but I guess in Hebrew, it's only literally one word added. So at the very beginning, it talks about how someone had a dream in which there was multiple levels of kingdoms. And that was during Daniel, the prophet Daniel, with the king Nebuchadnezzar. And so at this very time, so Nebuchadnezzar has a dream, which is like a big statue. And the statue has like the head of bronze. If I remember right, like pretty much multiple layers. But the point that matters right now is the feet that are like parts clay and stone.
Iron.
Right?
I'm afraid I don't remember the consistency of Nebuchadnezzar's statue. That's a
head of gold.
it is a different one for the dream.
Iron
Chest and
clay.
arms of silver. Thighs. Iron and feet are partly iron, partly clay.
And there is one big stone that looks like that hits pretty much the feet of the statue. And it's like that big stone that hits the feet of the statue pretty much becomes where like everyone worships. It's like the kingdom that goes on forever and ever. The first I've heard of that, like, because Rome is obviously the iron. And so it sounds like he's saying that the leaders at the temple are the clay. And so there is this weird mixture between Rome and the Jewish leaders. Kind of like a compromise of power. And so it is in this that the big Jesus stone goes smashing in. And what's interesting is it also then says like the stone that the builders rejected becomes the cornerstone. that anyone who trips over will be smashed into pieces. I don't know about you guys, but it's so hard not to get lost in the symbolism. What do you guys think?
I think symbolism is important to an extent. I feel like if things are too symbolic, then sometimes the point isn't too clear. Although it does help make a message memorable.
Can you repeat that part, Ethan?
On top of that, it's also like kind of hides the meaning.
Yeah.
Kind of hides the.
There we go.
It kind of hides the meaning from unbelievers, so to speak. People that God doesn't want to have understanding of what's going on.
So you're saying it's kind of like that deep cut thing where unless you're trying to understand, it's like also kind of that weird Jesus giving grace to people who don't try to understand.
Yeah, I think it's making it so that the message is difficult for the wrong people, then easy if God wants to give a heads up. I don't know, making it. I'm trying to think of it. Kind of like encrypting a message.
Yeah.
So that you can only understand it if you have cipher.
Any other thoughts before we go into communion? And yeah, I agree with you. That's like, we're reaching the heavily symbolism camp right now. Especially for the time that Jesus is at. Is he got the one to... It seemed like the only people who actually understand Jesus' parables were the ones that it was judging.
I suppose when something's pointed at you, you're more likely to have the context to get it.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a little hard to calling you out.
Can you imagine Jesus looking at them? He's just like full on, like saying this, like giving them the dead eye. The stone that the builders reject has become the cornerstone. Just dead eye looking at them when he says it. And they're like, the rest like, I wonder who he's talking about. And while he's looking at the people, they're like, oh, we know who he's talking about.
This man's all but throwing hands.
All right, I'm gonna go get the juice.
Jesus is kind of like pretty much the bard. Just one step short of vicious mockery.
Trying to think how's the best way to make these Great Fridays work here in a new area. Maybe we should just gather around one central area. Probably lesser feedback if we're talking just through one microphone. Waiting for you to say when, but there goes the full cup. Luckily it's grape juice. All right, David, you got your elements?
I do.
Perfect. All right, once Ethan sits down, you don't mind praying us into the Eucharist?
I can do that.
All right, Ethan is down. So whenever you're ready, just pray right into it.
All right. Dear God, thank you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for persisting in bringing your message to this world, despite your messages being rejected and attacked again and again. And thank you for going so far as to send your son to do the same. And to remember what he did, and to remember the price he paid for bringing us that message, we break this bread to represent how his body was broken, and we drink this juice to remember how its blood was spilt. We do this in remembrance of you. Amen.
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 I'll have the honors of breaking the bread. All right. Right in front of the microphone. User training has brought me to this point. Thank you, King Jesus. Amen. That's a good piece of bread. Need to say that Ethan has made a very beautiful piece of loaf of bread. It actually tastes pretty good too.
I think I figured out how to get a much more moist loaf of bread. Instead of using a single 1 cup measuring cup, I'll use a third measuring cup. Measure everything. So I think it adds a little bit more water. It's the single cup size measure. Makes the bread just
Do you say the crust tastes more like bread than donuts right now? So you're saying something about next week? There'll be no wheat, no yeast. You guys probably didn't hear that, but Edith says he's going to try making hardtack for next week communion.
Huh. I guess we'll see how that plays out.
He's going full sailor on us.
Good luck.
What's interesting is that hardtack has a very long shelf life. I can't remember like the exact like duration of it, but I think it's over a couple of years.
That's his whole selling point, is it not?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's also really, really hard, so we may have to soak it in grape juice before we try eating it.
Might provide a reason to finally pop open that bottle of wine. You know, very thankful for right now. Or is that to honor King Jesus? He doesn't make us go find some sort of random flower on top of a mountain that's very rare. We honor this through a very common thing as wheat. Like carb loading, that's funny. Alright. Ready to wash my hands.
Hey Justin.
Hello.
Logan.
Hi, Logan.
Hello. And to answer your question, I have not played Pony Island, but I have played Inscription.
Well, I think Pony Island one is was it like their like first game or something.
Yeah. It looks really
and
cool.
I've heard it's pretty good, and they're having a sequel eventually, and I might.
Oh really?
play it.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I feel like you're missing something. Was this about Pony Island being a good game and having a sequel?
So it was like a from like 2018 or something. Like it was
2016.
a 2016. It was more of a like a horror-esque sort of thing where like
Yeah.
stuck in an arcade machine more or
Yeah,
less.
it's almost like analog
Limbo.
horror.
Yeah, very much more into it. And it's more of a there's a lot of puzzle elements to it, a lot more like
Yeah.
Mostly puzzle elements.
So anyways,
And
I
it
see
just-
that I see that you all have gathered here today.
Here, I'll even DM it to you for context. It's
Pony
from the same
Island.
people that made Inscription, which was like the horror style card game.
I think David watched me play it once.
Suppose now that we have all gathered in my definitely very well organized hideout.
I mean, I feel like it's more well organized than mine because mine was like lifted from someone and I just moved things around. Mine got lifted off of a random place.
I see.
Hideout sharing thing.
Well then, shall we continue rampaging through the realms?
I'm up for it. I don't know if they are. They'll probably be back soon enough. But I am gladly willing to rampage through the realms.
Silver Branch just isn't that good.
I mean, I would offer up that Quill Rain that you handed me a while back,
But you're-
it's
but you're using it
probably
on-
best not.
I mean, you're using that on the, for your build though, aren't you? For
I
you
was
have
getting
your high-level
prepared to
character.
swap off it.
Oh, when you do swap off, I'll gladly take it back, but not until then.
Because it didn't have, can't have too many sockets, so I need to find something with more links. Anyways,
Too low of item level.
yeah.
Seem to recall that there's a way to fix that, but I'm betting it's expensive because that sounds like a weird kind of crafting.
Let's see, that requires a level 7.
Nope. Is Vorsi.
I think they, like, all the betrayal stuff got changed in the first place, but, and I think those still taken into account the item level of the item itself. Since it dropped to low pretty early-ish on, I won't have the ability to have more links in the first place, because I've maxed
Yeah,
it out
I mean-
at like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Already.
I mean, people were were claiming that Vorsi could force an item that otherwise had a low item level to have 6 links, but it is from 6 years ago, which is basically an eternity in
Moot.
this game.
Yeah. Only if I didn't have, I don't know what yeah. At the very least, since we beat Brutus, now I'm able to canonically have vitality and clarity, so at least I can run a couple auras for the group.
You're running clarity too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, I figured since they'd, I'll probably need it also.
Oh yeah.
Vitality
Actually,
because my character is going
suppose
to
you
be one
actually
that
have-
uses a lot of gen.
I suppose you actually have a brain on your character, don't you?
More like I have a necklace that is providing all the brain.
Okay.
My brain is in my necklace.
Yes. As just happens. I won't judge.
Did I accidentally level up Arcane Surge, or does Frostblink just not use? Yes, I have. Do I have a level 1 Arcane Surge somewhere in here, so that way it always triggers 3. Level 1. There we go.
Oh. And if you didn't, you could just buy one from Lily.
Yeah.
It's part of why I keep
There
her
we
right
go.
beside my stash. She's a very convenient merchant for that.
Oh yeah. There we go. Now Arcane Surge triggers every single time I Frostblink instead of every 3 or 4. Which is great, because that's just better mana regen.
Violence!
Violence!
It makes the world go. Go. Yes.
Yes. Also, I picked this up somewhere, and I don't really need it. Let me see if Lily sells this. I don't think so.
You know, I suppose I might as well.
Oh, yeah, she doesn't. Since I got used to the keybind situation already with my portal scrolls.
Oh, thank you.
You're probably a lot more organized in regards to allowing yourself to have a slot on your like hot swap or something, if necessary.
Or something. I'll figure it out. Probably.
What does rolling magmas leveled up, anyways?
Suppose what I'm doing
chains
could be
more often.
considered an aberration vaguely adjacent to a minion build right now. So sure, let's go ahead and toss that summon Phantasm support in there, see what happens.
Actually, if I remember correctly, Summon Phantasm is like not terrible for like Holy Flame Totem and stuff, just because more things to hit things.
More bodies!
Yes, more bodies.
Why not use this chance to... Actually, you know what, Lily, what res supports do you have? Ooh, actually, several res supports that are explicitly for totems. Oh, actually, I can get Ballista totem support now.
Good seeing you.
In that case, I think it's time to reconfigure some stuff.
Gotta try the bread. This will allow me to
I started another character, like, because I was like, I guess I got frustrated with just my lack of feeling progress with the Blizzard Totem one. From the lack of understanding what I can just do outside of just grinding for a little bit. Which probably should do to get my Explosive Arrow character a bit further. I started a Scion with Holy Flame Totem as the main gimmick for her. Currently trying to level her up. And it's different because I'm literally just having flamethrowers.
Yes.
Speaking of which, purchase items. I'm gonna need some spare Holy Flame Totems in my stash. In case if I get to the lab and it gives me the option to choose what type of Transfigure Gem gets turned. Relic Clock. Oh yeah, that's Sanctum. I never actually messed with that yet. Acropolis League, level 44. We're not anywhere near that, so.
Alright, do we have
Those
any
are all
energy in
other
us to
ones
continue
are
our
like
PoE run?
I am energetic. I'd have to assume David is, just by the fact that
He's still
it sounded
here?
like he was, yeah. And maybe the nap helped too.
Yes, it did.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Hey, this guy has
I
a quest
have.
for me.
No idea if this reconfiguring is a good idea or not, but here we go!
Got a morgue that can hold a number of bodies. But if it gets full, we'll have to choose what we want.
But yeah, pretty much everybody in here is going to want to say things at you because they're all various NPCs that you'll encounter over the course of the game that start just showing up in maps to do stuff.
That makes sense.
They're essentially the remnants of various seasons' new mechanics. Like, Sister Kaizo was introduced in the Blight League. Yeah, and she starts having this thing where she'll occasionally show up and basically offer to have you do a little bit of tower defense. The four over in this corner, will start showing up with excavation sites and tell you to blow a bunch of stuff up. The Undertakers.
You're digging explosively.
Yeah, the Undertaker starts having you collect corpses that you can turn into items.
Is that the newest one?
Yeah.
Incidentally, if you do find those corpses, I recommend for now pretty much use them as soon as you get them, because a single corpse can be used to make a rare item, and you can control what type of rare item that is, which can make it very handy for just
to do so. When you
getting
talk to him, just
stuff.
go to view the necropolis or visit the necropolis, and
Just
it'll
visit the
go there.
necropolis, find a grave, shove the corpse in the grave, tell him to make a thing. At the by selecting craft at the grave that you just buried.
Also, Corey, did you remember to unmute your game?
I can hear my game.
Okay.
Very lowly, but.
Is anything coming?
Ah,
There it is.
Yes, perhaps.
All right, we're going full headset. Is that what's happening? Or we're going full headset? All right.
Anyways,
the feedback noises.
I'm going to mummify myself in a blanket real
All right.
quick.
Yeah, I'm using headset.
Alright, I am freshly mummified and ready to continue. Because it's 35 degrees outside, I definitely want to be mummified.
35 degrees outside.
Yes. Like, I know, that's not actually that cold. But I'm wearing a t-shirt, so...
35. Hope.
I wasn't expecting it to be that cold today.
All
So
right.
I wasn't dressed for the weather.
How about when you went full nap mode?
That is part of it, yes.
I have no idea what we're doing right now.
So you're going to the city, or at least Corey is, and picking up his quest reward.
Yep.
And
So
together we're going to the prisoner's
so
gate.
what's really nice about this game is if you go to world screen, hit menu, world screen, or hit U, when you click the quest, it'll actually tell you where that quest is where that quest is.
You are need to talk to the person to the very much right. For
Yes,
reward.
So Ethan, hit U. Oh, there's a quest here. And then if you click on the bottom left, it will be your quest. It'll tell you where you need to go. If you click it, it'll tell you where you need to go to continue.
Ah.
Man, I don't get to listen to this song very often because usually I beat the boss fight way too quick.
Okay.
Which song?
The music for the Redeemer, which is one of the many bosses you fight. A little bit in mid-lane maps, somewhere around there.
Farewell.
I've spent too much money on this game.
god. These guns don't aim. It's a potential problem.
And whenever you're ready, Ethan, we are at the next point. So.
Any suggestions for the reward thingy?
Let me pull up yours again. Let's see. Can you, let's see, that one's, they're all pretty good, honestly. The first one you will use later on. I'll let you know. Most of those will actually end up.
Yoink.
Yeah.
Because there's this one too.
I don't think you like the first one is really nice because it's a mobility option and it's one that you'll end up using very often.
Okay, then it's probably a good one to pick up then.
Yeah.
If I had a slot to put it into. Oh well.
Also, it's a bow based one. I think David might be able to hand you a bow appropriate soon enough, or at least the skills appropriate for it.
I mean, I have a crude bow, but sounds a little crude.
But yeah, I can force the issue and get a bow if need be.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about it right now. You can just put it in your box for later, if you can't find one. Because you'll also have to have an attack skill that works with a bow.
Yeah. I'll just wait.
A coif on the floor.
Oh, you're trying to switch over to Ballista Totem now? Because
I don't
I've
think
been...
he just picked up the blinking arrow from the quest reward.
Oh. Actually, we can switch over to Ballista Totem now. We don't have Explosive Arrow yet, but we can actually start using the Ballista Totems at least.
And your way of using Yamanik Arrow is probably fine, honestly, as an term. You know what? I think I can force that issue open. His Rain of Arrows is pretty nice also, meanwhile. Galvanic Arrows.
Okay, is this going to work?
Okay. I'll put that away. Alright, it looks like he's over there, so it looks like we're all ready then.
That's just checking to make sure that my Galvanic Arrow Ballista function.
Ah.
And they do.
The good news is I'm also running some health regen auras that we got from the quest. So now we have health regeneration.
I have mana regeneration. Funny how they just gave it to us while we're crying for Diablo 2.
All clarity is fun.
Take that. Menaces. Oh, hey, that's a 3-link wand. Yeah, 3-link. Had to remember how it's worded.
3 links, right?
Yep. I forgot the convention. Okay, I was thinking 2 links for a moment.
Now, admittedly, you generally either get 1 link or 4. Well, normally just 1 link, but I suppose it was 4 links that one time.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even have that open.
Oh then, time to see how well Elemental Equilibrium plays out here.
As long as you don't have some form of add fire damage to your attacks.
I do have add fire right now, unfortunately. I do a bit of everything.
So you get nothing out of Equilibrium, unfortunately.
I see.
Because everything just removes everything else.
Suppose I'll need to make some adjustments then.
I'm just playing fire tennis with the enemies.
Death
You gotta get
volley.
it across the line, and then they just die
Okay,
from
so
it.
let's see. Strong. One sec. I have a nice lantern coming up, and I'm not going to make a mess of it this time.
Nice. Oh, I looked it up.
That's probably the better way for that to work. All right.
This is a mortuary for lost children.
Nothing special, just some stuff has increased drop rates.
Ooh. Rainbow orb time.
Must have time to gather will.
Waypoints right here.
We got Orb of Fusion.
Oh. Hmm.
You just dropped it on the ground?
I mean, I have a couple, but I felt like they should be able to at least give one now and then.
Fair enough. Hello, Captain.
Oh no, I forgot Ethan doesn't have a loot filter.
I mean, it's not a problem yet.
Frankly, I would have been surprised. Stuck.
I mean, I saw his screen and I saw a list of 20 items, so. That's true. Yet. Did Ethan find where we're supposed to go? Indeed he did.
I guess I shall rejoin the Ethan.
Huzzah.
Ethan is our trailblazer. He has found the way. Indeed, he does
The
know
way?
the way.
The way.
Yes. And the meme's so dead we
I
can
cannot
use
remember
reference
what the next
You do
point
the big
is.
projectile one. That's fine.
Is it this one?
Yeah. And I have the next set of ones you go after ready for when you hit next level.
Okay.
Ooh, 3-socket boots. Is my boots 3 sockets? No, it is not. I don't think I use greens though, so not very good for me.
I'm tempted to go acquire a tabla rasa.
I've avoided doing it so far.
Yes.
I probably will on my Bliss character though. At this rate, how much I was having issues with the 6 links. I might just hold off on it. Is the enemies that throwing out the ice bombs?
That's
Yeesh.
me.
Okay.
No, the enemies are making slowing goo because that's just what they do in this area.
Okay. Still
Yeah,
slow. Just
it's a
less work.
it's a death rattle.
Ah. Actually, this kite shield might be white, but it's perfect for my totem. If I can get it good. Ooh, quest item.
Right. Time to deliver the All-Flame to Fairgraves. I'm sure he'll be incredibly appreciative and reward us properly.
Yes. We might have to wait for the rest.
Well, of course. Yeah, we wouldn't want to get our due reward without everyone here to receive it.
Ring. Oh wait, I don't even have a second ring equipped. Whoops.
That seems like an oversight.
White. So let's see. Galvanic arrow, blink arrow. That'll be his weapons.
Okay. And so now we just find another exit, I guess.
Yep. Ooh, a short bow. That's perfect for Ethan.
Fairgraves was a good man. Fine explorer.
Oh, we sorry, Corey.
Fine.
Alright.
We were just running
Increased
past
item
and trying to
rarity.
find where to go.
I found a mook over here. You guys want to fight it?
Oh. All right.
I assume you mean an elite, since the Mook would be dead by the time anyone got to you.
Yes.
Alright.
Oh boy, a shield that I get to show and look and let someone else probably have. Is anyone using shields right now?
I am.
Well, there is a
Maybe.
shield on the floor for you
No
to
way
try
till
out.
my dexterity catches up.
I understand the issue. I understand. I've been there and am currently there.
Such is, unfortunately, the way of things.
The way of the brawny fireman.
Dash has good mobility.
Oh yeah. It doesn't have
Anyways.
a cooldown, but it's not exactly fast either, but it's consistent. Oh, I just walked in. My bad.
Cool. Looks like we got to increased rarity of items dropped on ghosts, so, you know. It's all cool.
At least it's a very optimal in that way. Let's see.
Are you guys in this ship Graveyard Cove? No, you're at the Celestial Hideout.
Yeah.
Celestial Hideout is my hideout. We went south. We were looking for the next place to go. So we just went south until we found it. Everything okay?
Yeah. That's not a tired yawn or anything.
Ooh. Gem. Red. More fire damage. Wonderful. I'll tell you, because you are for Ethan. Spell totem, not Ballista. Spell totem, Ballista totem. There we go.
I found it.
Nice. Hello, sir.
Hello. Day.
It does act like I'm still